just airing the car. Every single window's open. We've even got the boot, what do you call it, trunk open. Person that had this before was a smoker, so it's getting better. But yeah, anyway, I'm not going to talk about my previous owners on the car. I bought this car, done a whole series about 10 different episodes. Going to get straight to the point. I used my iCarsoft in one of them to sort out this really tricky issue that I had with electric parking brake, and I never really covered it in much detail, and somebody's asked me if I could do it a bit more sort of slowly and concisely. So here we go, I'll show you what I did. It's on the service menu. So if you've got one of these iCarsofts, have a look at this and it might just get you out of trouble.
Let's move on, 'cause it's time to move on.
So once you plugged it in, by the way, I've had to come down in the footwell because I was getting really bad sun glare. This here is the main page, and you normally would go into diagnostics. And as you go to diagnostics, for me it brings up about 10 different types of cars, and you go into Land Rover respectively. But don't do that. Go into the service menu and go into EPB, which is electric parking brake. Then choose the model of the car, obviously Land Rover. That's just the software version, doesn't matter which one you do. And then choose your Range Rover model. So it's a 2005 to 2009 Range Rover Sport. And here we go, electric parking brake, or PBM. And you've got three options. You've got drive the parking brake to the mounting position. That's what I did because the cable was all the way home and I didn't have enough slack. So when I selected this by just pressing enter, it then did something to the rear actuator, and it allowed the cable to come out so I could connect the unit. Now I'm not going to do it again because I've got it all working beautifully, but if I press enter here, it gives a description. I'm not going to press F2 to launch it, but it says here the following operations will drive the parking brake to the mounting position, allowing the brake cables to be connected to the brakes. This may be necessary if the parking brake is operated without the cables being connected to the brakes. This can lead to a condition where not enough cable is available to connect the brakes. That's exactly the issue that I had. Now if I go back, the second option you got here is drive the parking brake to the latching position. And the operator information shows that the following operation will drive the parking brake to the latching position, which may be necessary if the parking brake emergency release was operated. So the emergency parking brake release actually is in your center console, and you need to lift this up. Underneath here there's a cable of which you can then access, but you've got to take all this up here. I may in later episodes actually open this all up and get that cable in a position that I can get to it underneath the cup holders rather than dismantling, because the last thing I thought was you need to take all this up when you're in trouble. And if I go back to the third one, which is parking brake unjam procedure, and if I hit that, the application will drive the electronic parking brake to the unjammed in the released direction and then drive it into the mounting position. Ensure that the vehicle battery voltage is above 12.5 volts and the engine is off. Press OK to continue or cancel to exit. Well, I very much want to press cancel. So F1, don't make the mistake. So that's a handy little thing for the parking brake. I hope it gets you out of trouble. Have a look at this video here. This is how I managed to fix my parking brake. I was lucky actually that the cable had just come off the brake shoe, but I needed to use the first menu on that to allow me to have enough slack, and that's how I discovered that menu. So there you go, I hope it works. I'm gonna leave the car now to air and enjoy the sunshine. See you on the next one.
Let's move on, 'cause it's time to move on.